Even though we were remote, the Zoom training, which would have been a Zoom training either way, actually ended up working out better because we have been doing Zoom and Microsoft Teams for everything. So actually that in itself was good, because getting everybody in the office in a room for training is not the best way when we're in the office anyway. So this actually turned out to work really well. The fact that we can open Outlook and it's already there is a must. Training was great. We have a group that has been filing consistently and the feedback is been good. All our emails are searchable with Mail Manager because we use the exact same folders. So everything that we have put in those folders is there. Created folders to organize their projects within their inboxes because they were not filing to new format.
It's a good idea, I think, with any piece of software to have a champion in the office. That would be somebody that would know more about the software than everybody else. And they're the go-to person that you can go and ask about how do I do this? How do I create a folder? And share that knowledge around the office.
If I wanted an email that one of my staff was working, now they were home with their kids and they were working the morning and the evening, and their spouse was working in the afternoon. And so if I needed something from them in the afternoon and I couldn't get to them, and it was in their email, I couldn't, I had no way of getting to it unless I was going to list IT. And so things were getting more difficult than they were before. Literally say that just archiving and managing my emails was taking me over an hour a day. Post looking at it, I think it's very easy to manage your email through Mail Manager. So somebody that didn't want to take the time to do it before, I think that I would even say beyond that, once you put it in Mail Manager, you're kind of done. Meaning, if you go back and you look at it and you do something with it again, you don't have to do anything. It's saved in the Mail Manager. And in fact, if you're leaving it out of the Mail Manager, it's more difficult because you're being asked, where should I put this? So really, you're encouraged to use the Mail Manager. So anybody that was doing that before probably is going to be conditioned to stop doing that, once they start using Mail Manager, and to actually file it, and pick a folder to put it in based on the job. Yeah, for me, that's it pays for itself. Yeah. And it may not, the person you have to pay for license, it might not pay for every person for themselves, but I probably pay for 20, right? And I'm sure that my partners are in a similar situation. So the time our time is the most valuable, right? We have the least time, and our time is most saved. So, and I'll say something else, which, with the pandemic, we weren't set up in a situation where we had access to everybody's email. And, if we did have to let some people go, that would, this would ease that transition as well, because we wouldn't have to figure out a way to get access to their email.
But here's the biggest reason why we wanted to go to a filing system. And they were legal issues. So what if you get a subpoena to produce all of your emails on a given project? Well, that happened to us, and of course we try to stay free and clear from that, but litigation happens in our world. So we had a very large project, probably a $90 million resort project. We had tens of thousands of emails that were produced during the project. And we get a subpoena to produce every email communication on the project. Well, this project involves several people in our office. Some didn't work for us anymore. So I was going around trying to gather up emails on this in the various filing systems. And I think I did a pretty good job. But at the end of the day, when we delivered those emails over to the other party, they were able to produce emails that were sent from our office that we didn't have in that batch. And so it became a really critical issue for us. And that was kind of the point where I said, we have got to get control of this and do something better. So, and it's like what I say there, try gathering up all the emails in your firm on any project It's like taking a bag of feathers, throwing it into the wind, and then trying to go gather all those up. Earlier this year, we were introduced to Mail Manager, and I immediately saw the benefits and improvements. I was shown the file and search features, and I just knew right then that we've got to have this. This is what we've been looking for. What I love about it is many of you know what I'm talking about, the smoking email. You're on a call with somebody and you have a dispute over who said what, or what was the latest direction, or what did they tell me to do. We're working on the new Utah State Prison. It's about $1 billion project here in Utah. It involves several architectural firms, engineering firms, multiple general contractors. Well, there's been more than one occasion where there's been a dispute over who said what and who told who to do what. And I was able to go into our Mail Manager filing system for that project and searching tens of thousands of emails immediately, being able to find that smoking email that put the dispute to rest. Like this was it. This was the final direction we.
This is how we kind of felt a little bit when we saw it, especially if anyone is interested, if you've ever seen the social map, where you can see essentially who has talked to whom, and you can kind of figure out who are the main people in every project. I didn't put a screenshot of that, but I'm sure people would be interested to see that. I'm sure that the higher level management teams probably benefited the most just being able to access specific pieces of information for that were mentioned for either clients' decisions, fees, it could be contractors or discussions that were just an email that needed to be referenced. And so especially when as I say, especially when something's on site and you need the information within 5 minutes sometimes, just so people keep working. That's the critical bit.
But we went with a cloud solution a few years ago. This didn't work out for us as we'd hoped. First of all, we basically had to copy all of our public folder data and hand it to a third-party company or the provider so they can upload it. And it didn't honor our folder structure, which created a mess. Basically, all the emails, instead of each project specific email sitting in its own folder, ended up sitting in a big pool of, or a large folder. And users were able to file, however, they weren't able to search for emails, which basically defeated the whole purpose of having a mail filing solution. It does what it says on the box. It's pretty easy to use. It learns from, the more you use it, the more it learns from your filing habits. So it will create, so the jobs or the folders that you file to the most will show up on the top suggested location.
Said he wasn't aware of the decision, and he asked us for a proposal to rectify the problem. So we turned a possible claim into a probable new project with just a few seconds using the search engine. Sometimes we use the search engine, or often we use the search engine not necessarily to defend a claim, but rather just to find a document that we need so that we can continue on with our design. We did have a little bit of resistance from a few employees with the initial installation. I'd say about 90% of our employees grasped it right away and immediately began filing all of their emails. We had a couple of old timers that said, I've been doing it the old way all this time, I'm not changing. And they were curmudgeons. But even they came along within 2 or 3 months, and it turned out for both of the two people I'm thinking about, it was because they needed to do a search, and we were able to show them how they could have saved several days of searching by using Mail Manager. We encourage employees to file all emails because what may not be important today may be important in the future.